This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works, understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.
Upgrade to Lime!
It's Wednesday, February the 18th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Good morning. A senior Barbadian attorney is describing last Thursday's Caribbean Court of Justice judgment in a local land dispute as diatribe. Queen's Counsel Vernon Smith took a turn in the CCJ, accusing it of spending more time on criticizing local judges, as well as he and his legal team, than on addressing points of law or the submissions made to it on behalf of their client, Systems Sales Limited. Smith expressed dissatisfaction with the way in which the Caribbean Court arrived at the judgment that saw the dismissal of the client's application for special leave to appeal in an earlier ruling.
When I read it, I was absolutely amazed to realize that it was a judgment by way of a diatribe. It dealt with no issues whatsoever related to anything we had submitted or any points of law that we had raised in the whole matter. And I found that it was not in the normal course of judgments that I have had read in any matter, even before the Privy Council. And I took strong objections to the fact that the judgment was about criticizing and denigrating the judges of our High Court and Court of Appeal, and also in denigrating junior counsels who had dealt in the matter by alleging negligence on their part.
Senior Government Minister Donville Innes says the Frontier Stewart administration has no intention of standing down from its position on the economic citizenship program at this time. His declaration in the House of Assembly yesterday comes amid ongoing economic problems in the country and 3 months after Canada imposed visa restrictions on St. Kitts and Nevis over its own program. Innes argued that such initiatives are not the answer to the country's woes. Instead, he credited his government for introducing a special permit for high net worth individuals.
We're not in the business of selling passports. So we have clearly established a policy. We've also established procedures to be followed and attach the necessary fee to process and fee payable for attaining what you seek to attain here. Barbados is not going in the route of economic citizenship and selling passports. I don't think we need to. Quite frankly, I don't think we should either. It certainly has come back to bite and will continue to bite where it hurts most, some of those who opted to go that route. I think we have the opportunity to attract legitimate business and grow them out here, to welcome individuals who opt to invest here and those who opt to have second homes here, without saying to them, here is a passport, why you hand over a check.
A stern warning from Agrofest organizers and the police just 1 week before the annual showcase. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, stopped short of saying what action was likely to be taken against perpetrators, but told journalists yesterday that disorderly behavior from children and other patrons will not be tolerated. He also made it clear that smoking will not be allowed at the 3-day event, which will be held in Queen's Park from February the 27th. Police Inspector Peter Gibson also warned sponsors to be careful in how their posters are displayed. He said it could be considered an offense to tamper with or remove a poster of others and replace it. In sports now, things just got even harder for Joel Garner in his bid to become president of the West Indies Cricket Board. The tables have turned in Jamaica, with news that the Jamaica Cricket Association voted yesterday evening 67-22 at its annual general meeting in favor of supporting fellow countryman Dave Cameron in his attempt to retain the presidency of the WICB. Now, the move comes just 2 weeks after the JCA, led by President William Billy Haven, initially voted 10-6 in favor of Garner, the former West Indies fast bowler and president of the Barbados Cricket Association. That decision sparked an outcry within some sections of the JCA, leading to a no-confidence motion being brought against Haven. And while that motion was not successful, the big story was that its members voted to overturn the decision made by the JCA's directors just weeks ago.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
It's time for Agrofest again. Come and enjoy the National Agricultural Exhibition on February 27th to March 1st at the historic Queen's Park. Over 300 exhibits on show, highlighting the theme, inclusive agriculture, strengthening linkages, creating synergies. Agrofest 2015, the biggest agricultural exhibition in the Caribbean. Don't miss it.
And over in Guyana, the Alliance for Change and the Partnership for National Unity are hoping that their coalition will sweep them into office in the May 11th general elections. The coalition has already been sharing their plans with the country. More in this Capital News report.
They see the coalition as a reunion of sorts. Their main goal, they said, is to form a government of national unity to end winner-takes-all politics. Both sides had to compromise. For example, the AFC went into the talks wanting to front the coalition, but party leader Kemraj Ramchatan said he knew that would have been a tough bargain.
I have been with my membership, supporters, financiers, and they have supported this to the extent of saying here, it is something that is very much acceptable, it is viable, and it is that vehicle which can bring the transparency and accountability we want for this country.
David Granger will be the presidential candidate and Moses Nagamoto the prime ministerial candidate. If elected on May 11th, the coalition will reintroduce the post of vice president. There will be 3 of them, 1 from APNU and 2 from the AFC.
In Iraq now, Kurdish officials raise concerns that ISIS fighters will break through their lines following a major attack by militants last night. According to officials, the attacks were likely aimed at drawing the already stretched Kurdish forces in many different directions to relieve the pressure on Mosul, which ISIS seized in June last year. We pick up the rest of the story in this CNN report.
Again, it's unclear just how huge this fight is, but certainly Peshmerga officials, the Kurdish officials I've spoken to, are very concerned that this major push could break through Kurdish lines. Very close combat, so close in fact that coalition air power unable at this point to launch attacks on the ISIS assault simply because the two sides are so close together. When we were down there 10 days ago, it was clear this was one of the most exposed positions of Kurdish forces. They're strung out along a river, but the fortifications are few and far between. The soldiers, the Peshmerga fighters there, the volunteers, have very little in the way of weaponry. They're using very old guns, very few heavy machine guns, certainly no mortars or anything like that. And one of the Kurdish fighters there told us last week that ISIS makes almost daily attempts to infiltrate that sector, coming across at night in small boats.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update, but you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works. Understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.